the seeds are sown. Fingers tapping on a Ouija board. Broken silence like a shattered chord. Eerie hums in the dead of night.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hello,
How's it
and
going?
welcome back.
Yeah. How is everybody doing?
Well, I'm fine, like always.
How about you,
I'm
John?
awake in here. I'm awake in here.
That's a good thing.
We have enough coffee.
So, oddly enough, I don't drink coffee at all.
You don't drink
Don't?
coffee.
How
No.
do you stay awake?
Yeah.
I don't. I honestly just have a lot of energy. I don't know where it comes from. So, I mean, a lot of people, they've seen me crawl on walls and ceilings and such, and they're just like, "Oh man, he must be caffeinated up." And I'm just like, "No, this is me without coffee or any caffeine."
Oh my god.
Oh my God. Reminds me, maybe it's ADHD.
Could be
But
ADHD.
it could be
Yeah.
undiagnosed, but
Okay. You have a lot of energy.
All right. Welcome to the podcast. If you would be so kind and introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what do you do.
sure. Well, first off, thank you for having me. My name is John Griffin II, and I do I am the leader and founder of a paranormal team here in New York State called You and I Research. And basically, our focus, primary focus, is on paranormal research itself. So physics-based, spiritual physics-based experiments, data collection, analysis, and trend identification. You know, everything that people don't really care about. That part of it. Um, I mean, they love the experiments. Don't get me wrong. People have seen our experiments and go, "What? Where did they come up with this stuff?" But that's primarily what our team does, and I basically have just been doing the paranormal. I'm going on. Basically, I'm on 23 years of doing this stuff. I've operated three team. I say three teams, but it hasn't really been actually three teams. It's three teams that have evolved. Um, the mission, if it changed, the name changed with it, and You and I Research is essentially its final evolution.
Wow.
Yeah.
Busy. Very busy.
Very, very busy. And after I invited you, I read your bio. Uh, you were seen many times on TV on Dead Walker, and that's with Nick Roth, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that was the most recent one, season 4. I believe it was episode 12 for Wildwood Sanitarium.
Okay, we haven't seen it over here, so no spoiler. Paranormal Survivor, My Ghost Story, Paranormal 911, and Project Apparition Hall. Can you tell us something about every project you've done except the Dead Walker?
So, uh, yeah, I mean, Paranormal Survivor. I mean, my brother and I were on one of the episodes where we were telling our story about the haunting that we went through. I mean, granted, we're talking about almost a 19-year story, and they're condensing it down to maybe about 12 minutes. So, but they did a pretty good job of it. They got some of the facts inaccurate, but um, it is what it is. There was a second episode where I was the investigator, and I saw some of the comments before that. I think it was on YouTube that I saw some comments, because they eventually, the episodes went on there where they were like, "Oh, it must be fake because they have the same guy on episode I think it was episode 4 and 5." At one time he's the victim, and then the next time he's the investigators, and then all of a sudden magically I chimed in going, "Yeah, I'm that person. I am a paranormal investigator, and I went through a haunting," and they wanted to tell two different stories.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but uh, My ghost story caught on camera. That was actually the first show that I was ever on, and I mean the casting process for that. Oh my goodness! Um, but that was a fun one. We there was a residential case that we did. It was we called it the House of Dimensions, because it was just a house that haunting was just uh, it was rotating. It was like the house. The interesting part of the house, about the house is that it was picked up from one location and put on top of another location, um, and the other basement to the other location had already been haunted. The house itself had its own haunting, and it just seemed like it just rotated. There were different spirits there. Then the two hauntings collided, and it was absolutely insane. So the evidence we had for that was amazing for that. Paranormal 911, uh, that focused on the story of a nun spirit that I had experienced at one of my jobs. I made sure, and thank goodness they did not disclose where I worked, because one of the things they were planning to do is they were gonna say, oh, we were gonna do a have you wear your uniform. I'm like, oh no, no. You know, I'm like, I'm currently working there, and they go, oh, you're still working there. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, I mean, first off, do I really look that old that I look like I'm retired? Uh, no, no. I said you know, I don't. I obviously am not going to give it away on here, but I said it. You know, it has the logo on there, and you would have to you would have to get approval, and that's going to take forever. Um, Project Apparition Hall, that was a project that I personally produced. Um, and that one focused on our most recent and one of our most successful paranormal research projects. And but I wanted to focus on the story behind all of it, because there was a huge emotional story to it, and it focused a lot on my brother and I, because we're the ones who started the project together, and unfortunately he took his own life back in 2021, so the project stalled. Um, so that's where, you know, that's kind of where the introduction to that project is. Uh, and then spoiler free, I was on Death Walker with Nick Roth, and that's what I'll say to that one. Um, you know, and the interesting thing is, you know, being on these shows, I'll say this: I know there's points, like, because it's the entertainment industry, and you know they have to put stories together and such like that. There was actually, and I won't say which one. There was actually one show that was trying to alter my story so much that I almost got up and walked off the set. Um, and I've never done that. I'm an easygoing person. You know, I work together very well with, or try to work together very well with everybody. This was just one of the cases where I actually got heated and said, literally stopped and said, how much of this story are you changing? Because if this doesn't feel like my story anymore. If you want me to just narrate for you, hold up a bunch of cards with words on them and I'll just read it. And and they actually had to go on break, and I think I don't know if it was the casting producer. I forgot who it was, but he came running out from behind the curtain and was like, okay, let's all take a break. Um, came up and talked to me, and I was just like, this is not what we discussed on the phone. Like there was one again, I'm not gonna say which one, but it was like this. There was a story, and I understood because of the amount of time. My story took place this specific story, I should say, took place over years, and they needed to condense it to a very short time period, which I was like, okay, I understand that. Um, so, you know, I was fine with that, but it came to the point that I was just like, they're saying this event happened and this event and this event and this event. I'm like, how can I talk about an event that never happened and make it seem like it happened? like now it doesn't feel authentic anymore. So,
Yeah.
but that's some of my experiences with that.
It sounds hard to do. I mean, I would have probably flipped. I would have been gone crazy.
It
I,
was
I
the
hate it when programs try to do that. I don't know why.
I mean, I get it. I get it from I get it from an entertainment standpoint.
Mhm.
Again, it's putting the story together because it's like you're doing, um, you're taking. I mean, in this case, it's like 12 to 15 minutes, and they got to take you're doing about 3 hour, maybe. Well, it depends. Like Paranormal Survivor, I was interviewed with them for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. My ghost story caught on camera was a similar. I think Paranormal 911 might have been about 2.5 hours. And they take that and just have to condense it and make it so that the story makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh, Paranormal Survivor, they kind of, for the most part, did okay with that. The only issue I had, well, one of the only issues I had was there was a spirit girl that I had dealt with as a child, and they made her seem like she was very random. They just kind of threw her in. They were like, "Oh, it goes to me saying how there was this girl out in the hall and she was saying help me," and so they showed the girl help me, and then that was it. It was, yep, she was there, and then she was gone, and then the some specialist or something like that, I guess, from the field came on and said, some kids, they have psychic abilities when they're younger and such. I was like, okay, I see what they did there. But their main thing on for my story, for the story of Jeremy and I, their main focus was the spirit called the Hunter. That was the big thing that fascinated them. So,
Yeah.
but honestly, you know what? I have to give credit where credit's due for the producers or for the production team for Paranormal Survivor. There was one thing I said in there, and it was about everybody deserves to have their story told. And that I want to hear their story and such. I forgot what my exact phrasing was. I said, if there's one thing, if you could leave one thing in, could you leave that in? And they did. They left it in, and I'm grateful for that because so many people have contacted me out of the blue. People I don't know at all. They saw me on Paranormal Survivor. They looked me up. They found me, and then all of a sudden I'm getting these messages, and they're just like, I just want somebody to talk to. And I was just like, this is exactly what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
I wanted people because I knew what it was like to not feel like I could tell the story. That I couldn't come out in public and talk about it. I saw what the backlash was when I did, when I was younger. So I said I didn't want anybody else to go through that. So and everybody, the funny part was is anybody who reached out, they said, I hope you don't find this creepy or think that I'm a stalker or but I saw you on the show and I looked you up or I Googled you and I'm like, and they and then almost every single one thought I wasn't going to answer them either. And all of a sudden they get an answer and they're like, wait a minute, what? Like, I was like, yeah, I was serious when I said that on the show. I was serious. So
Yeah.
yeah, of course I'm going to answer you. Um, yeah. I mean, is it frustrating? In some cases it is. Because I mean, once you sign the contract, the contract is they use your image how they want.
Yeah.
So you agree to the terms and conditions. But you know what? If anything, it's helped me reach people that needed to be reached, and some of the people ended up getting help from us, and they we've had some people that have said that they don't feel alone in the world anymore, and that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned you had a lot of paranormal experiences.
Mhm.
Do you care to tell about them?
No, just
All
kidding.
right.
Uh,
Oh,
uh,
I almost cried. Don't do that.
I mean, it, where do you want me to start on that one? I've got
What
a
was your
huge range.
first your first paranormal experience?
First one.
How did it start?
Um, so that one was when I was 4 years old. It was sometime between after my birthday in August uh and before my brother was born in November the same year. I was sitting in what we called the back room, which ended up becoming my brother's room. And when I was playing back there, there was a uh, I went to I've something just I had this weird feeling, and I went and I looked out the back window into the backyard, and I just saw this light being absolutely beautiful. It kind of had a humanoid appearance to it, but it was very angelic. So I have always attributed it to being an angelic being. It looked like it had some type of wings. It looked humanoid, but it wasn't human. I could not see any facial features or anything of that aspect. Um, so, and then the next thing that happened was just before it disappeared, there were three flashes of light at me, and then it was gone. I have never ever experienced anything like that again. But it was a very it wasn't frightening. It was a very I felt very calm when that happened, and it felt like at that moment a switch of some sort just flipped on. Um, and because I mean, as I was growing up in nursery, when I was in nursery school, I was actually a bully. I was actually a really bad bully. And then when a bully came into, there was a bully who tried to bully me, and well, I was going to out bully the bully. So, but and the punishment at the time was what was called the thinking chair. And every time my mother would come to pick me up, she would always see that I was on the thinking chair. So, so it was kind of a what did he do this time? It, but after that moment happened, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying like when I went back to nursery school when I was 4 after that experience that I had not sat on the thinking chair at all after that, but all of a sudden it felt like there was a feel there when it came down to getting in trouble, it's like anxiety all of a sudden happened. I didn't care if I got in trouble before. Now I did.
Mm.
Mm.
So I don't really know what happened that caused that because that the fear of getting in trouble was never there. And and that's what caused me to actually because I went to I went to a Christian a Christian nursery school. So considering the troublemaker that I was not there was always the Bible session. We would sit down and learn about the different scriptures and such. But I wanted to play with the toys. I was going to play with the toys. Um, so you weren't going to make me sit down, except on the thinking chair. That did happen. So it was usually I ended up there and not at the the Bible portion of it. This actually made me ask them a question. I described to them what I saw, and they were like, and that's what, of course, what helped them rope me in. They go, "Oh my gosh, you saw an angel! Here, you want to learn more about that? You should sit down. Come to this Bible thing that we're doing here." And yeah, that caused me to actually sit down and learn about that stuff. So that's where once I learned about that, that's why I referred to it as more of an angelic experience, because it what they described, what they tried to teach me in regards to that, and what I experienced, seemed to match up. So, yeah, my first experience was a good one. But my brother and we had actually experienced a full, I call it the full spectrum of a haunting, because it ranged from angelic to child haunting to a negative spirit, all the way to demonic. We experienced the entire thing, and so I got to see a really wide scope of you know what these types of what different types of activity are. So it's been an interesting it's been an interesting life, that's for sure.
You can
Yeah,
say that again.
yeah,
Yeah, more huntings than usual people.
yeah. A head start with all the difference and in beginning of your life, and we had to learn later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and we're talking that's well, I call it 19 years of my life, but technically speaking, I don't really remember. I didn't really have the activity happening or that I recall, at least. I don't remember having any of the activity from, obviously from child or from when I was born to until I hit the age of 4. I don't recall any activity. Now I heard from my mother there was activity during that time period. I just didn't actually experience it or recall experiencing it myself.
Which is
Yeah.
normal until you're 4.
Yeah.
Well, I have memories which go back to the age of 2.5, 3 years.
My only memories of like 3 years old is I was already playing the Nintendo Entertainment System. I was already playing Super Mario Brothers, and let me tell you something. I can't tell you how many times I beat Super Mario Brothers 3. I think that was by age 4. I had mastered it. I had beaten Bowser, saved the princess, and I was happy.
Oh my God.
That's an achievement.
My
Oh,
That's my gaming journey began.
I can understand. But gaming is cool. Gaming is cool.
yeah, it's always cool, but at the age of 3, 4,
Oh, if only the younger version would hey, come to the future, take a look at this. Back then, you're like, you know, Nintendo 64, and you're seeing the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time for the first time, and going, oh, look at these graphics, and then and the gameplay and all that, and then and then I fast forward to now and go, you know, if I could look back at my younger self and go, oh man, if only you knew.
Exactly. Because the graphics are a lot better.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I've seen the whole spectrum. I'm that old.
I'm catching up. Don't worry.
Okay. Oh
I
my
played
God.
Atari. I played. My grandmother had the Atari, so I played the Atari. So
Yeah,
I had Space Invaders, Pong.
yeah,
I think it was Pong. Is that what it was? Pong?
yeah. I think
I think
it's
it
what
was,
it
yeah.
was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, just the two lines and the dot.
Hmm.
And back then, that was great. I probably still play it now.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah,
like that game. That's fun.
It's simple. It's
yeah.
simple, but it's fun.
If I
Exactly.
still had my working Sega, I would still playing Hedgehog.
Oh yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, I tried playing that a couple of months ago, and I was like, I don't like this game anymore. It doesn't work. It doesn't do what I want it to do. Never mind. I ain't doing it.
Yeah, inventions.
Hmm.
But you talked about a lot of spirits coming by
Hmm.
in different formations. You also talked about the negative ones. What
Hmm.
happened? What happened there? How did you get rid of them? And did you get rid of them?
Um, one of them I definitely didn't. Which was the hunter. And to be clear, my brother's the one who named him the hunter because of the way he appeared to him. Before when I was younger, I didn't know what they were until I found out that about the term ghosts and dead people, and I didn't understand death. So I called them disappearing people. And at the time, I thought it was actually when I first saw my first ghost, I thought it was a superpower. Seeing a person disappear, I'm like, okay, creepy. First off, how are you appearing and disappearing in my house? Um, and yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But then I wanted to learn how to do that too. naturally. But then when I brought that up in school to my friends, that's where the mistake happened. Um, I told them the story. I didn't know anything about ghosts, but somehow they knew better. Uh, they had told their parents, and their parents told them to stay away from me because I was essentially basically satanic. Apparently, after that, and yeah, I lost my friends really quick from that, and that followed for my brother as well. He ended up being guilty by association, so he was bullied right from the beginning. So it was really bad. It was really bad for him. And the hunter, he just and recently, from historical records within the past few years, uh, I believe we found out who the hunter is. There was actually a military person, and I looked up the brand or the branch that he was in. He would have worn camouflage. Uh, it looked just like him. I'm like, oh, I think we found him. I think we found this person. And I had to make sure, of course, that he actually had passed on, and he did. He had actually passed on around the time that I was born.
Oh,
So, but he didn't live there. Obviously, he didn't live there anymore. My parents had moved in. But that was just wild. We didn't get rid of him. My brother and I confronted him. He chased us out of the basement, and I ended up hurting myself on the way out of the basement. When I was running, I had hit my leg on this corner of a wall and cut the leg open. No stitches or anything, thankfully. Minor cut, but there was no fighting that one. The demonic entity that came in, I did learn about how to do blessings and such. So back then, I've never heard of paranormal investigators, ghost hunters, paranormal researchers, exorcists, stuff like that. I've seen like maybe movies, but that was about it. So I learned how to do blessings on my own. And so when I did that, I believe at the time, because it seemed like the activity had subsided, that the that entity had you know taken a hike. Um, the entity has reemerged every so often. Um, but for a while it didn't reemerge, and I do actually touch upon this specific entity in my upcoming book that's releasing very soon, Paranormal Puzzle Path to Communication. That entity is going to be talked about. I'm not It's not a primary focus. I don't like to give that entity much energy, but it's important that people know uh, the capabilities
yeah,
of what some of these spiritual beings can do.
Yeah.
So that one, that one's been a touchy one for sure.
Yeah.
But it's
Understandable.
helped me in other cases. But and that leads to the other point too of seeing. I know it's like a trending thing right now, like especially on YouTube of you know uh, I dealt with a demon, demon house and demonic entity here, and I faced a demon, and it's like. I'll see. I don't watch a lot of the stuff, but the stuff that I have seen, I was like, that's no, that's not anything like I experienced. I was like, how do you know this is? And it turned out a lot of it was just clickbait. So I feel like that word is being thrown around,
yeah,
um, it, and it's going to have a negative impact on other people, because they're going to look at every single thing. I've had people that have called me and go, I feel like I've got a demon in the house, and it's like, and that was before all this, the demonic trend happened, and then it just seems to increase after that. I believe I have a demon. I've got this. I've got this. And I'm like, that's the traditional part of the haunting. That's not demonic.
No, exactly.
I got to experience the demonic portion of it. I got to see the buildup and how that all worked.
yeah,
So, the word is thrown around like it's the most common thing in the world right now, and eventually like I said, it's going to catch up. It's really going to catch up with people.
yeah.
and it's going to create bigger problems because people are going to go into more panic. And from what I've seen, demonic entities, they love that negative feeling. They love that emotional stuff. They you're essentially putting up a beacon for them going, hey, come here.
Yeah,
And that becomes a much larger problem. So the thing that they don't have at that moment, they could eventually have. And it's it's partially because they may have attracted it.
yeah,
So that's some of the worries that I've had with it.
Yeah.
yeah. That's why we started the podcast. You see all over TikTok with their cat balls and the laser lights and the ghost tube and whatever, and they caught something demonic. And people are mailing and saying they have a problem,
Mhm.
and they tell you their problem. And when you're analyzing, most of the time is residual. And if you say so, now they're smacking around your ears. But I saw on TikTok,
Yep.
I hate it. Or people here in the area are really stupid to think it is real what they're putting on TikTok. And I don't mention the special effects yet, but they're learning the wrong stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, what people need to realize is that there's a difference between the paranormal field and the film industry or the entertainment industry. When you're going on YouTube and when people are creating a show, that's entertainment.
Yeah,
Um, you know, uh, None of these shows should be, I mean, I'm not saying don't take any of the stuff serious, because I mean, believe me, I've been on plenty of shows to see what reality TV is. Reality TV, there's a bunch of real points, but there's points where you have to, when you're on a show, um, you're not a paranormal researcher at that moment. You are what's called talent. You are an actor. You're on TV because you're entertaining, not because people are like, "Oh, you're a paranormal researcher. Great, we want you on TV." And it's the same with YouTube. Nobody's gonna want to watch, a paranormal show on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever. Uh, that's not interesting. So, you know, it's basically for anybody who's watching that stuff, yes, there's going to be realistic stuff, but understand that they're filming a show. So there's the acting portion of it. There's going to be where they're going to amplify their personality. That's a part of acting. You amplify your personality. Some people, they become, you're essentially a character. Some people will create a character. So they don't use their own name. They use, their stage name or such. So, and at the same time, it does help, don't get me wrong. The public, they see this stuff and they go, wow, this is interesting. You know what, I want to go on a ghost hunter. Let me look up a haunted place. Let me go to one of these events. And it sparks the interest, which is great. They get then they come out and find out what the real thing is like, and then they either love it or hate it. They're like, well, I thought this was more like a ghost hunters or ghost adventures. And it's like, well, remember that I have to remind people, those people filmed at a location for about 3 days.
Yeah.
And that 45-minute episode you saw was 3 days of filming and the best of the best. So, no, it's not like what you think it is. It doesn't happen. All that stuff doesn't happen in a 45-minute period.
No, it doesn't. Definitely doesn't.
and if
So,
you know a location like that, call me.
Oh yeah. I would like to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, and sleep.
you
That
go
will be
there.
the first that will be the first thing I have. Coffee. I will
Yeah.
not sleep. Whatever it takes.
I used to drink energy drinks. Last year I started all of a sudden getting a multitude of panic attacks, and some of them were occurring after I had the caffeine. Now caffeine or like drinking the energy drinks to me, they were like drinking water. It didn't affect me. I mean, I would crawl on the walls and the ceilings, even if I didn't have them. Um, but a coffee for me. Please don't take any offense to this. I just don't like the taste of it. I'm just not it. I feel bad. There was this one time that I went to Dunkin' Donuts, um, and they messed up my order. I was getting a hot chocolate, and uh, they gave me a they gave me a coffee, and thankfully, I'm glad the employee was standing right there, and I took a sip of it, and I almost immediately I noticed the taste. It was sorry, god awful, and I almost spit it out at them, and I'm so glad because it was so hot. Obviously, that wouldn't have been good. Um, but I was just like, "What is this?" And they're like, "Oh, well, that's I forgot what I think it was like the a black coffee or something like that. It had none of the stuff, no sugar, no nothing." And I'm like, "I ordered a hot chocolate." Oh, like you took my order. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
it's
I know the
it's
feeling.
it's rough now though. I mean, yeah, I have the energy, but I did enjoy my energy drinks, driving to from location, and then I'm at a location with the team or with the owners of the location, just having an energy drink, and we're just after setting up and like, oh yeah, just telling each other stories, goofing off before the investigation, just raising the vibes. And now I'm sitting there, I'm watching people drink energy drinks, and I'm like, yep, I remember when I was young.
Oh my God.
You're not that old yet, are you?
Well,
No.
I might as well say I am at this point. I no, I'm going on 40 in August.
Oh, that's a year older than me. So we're not that old yet.
I'm. You know what? As I always tell people, just they're either catching up or I'm catching up to them.
Yeah.
If I could tell you anything, avoid getting any older right now. If you could stay like 30, 25 or something like that, do that.
You can just
May or
stop
may not work.
counting. Just stop counting.
Yeah, I always say I'm 49, 95, and with experience.
Well, somebody told me that because they were like, "How old are you?" Because of the way I was talking, the stories, and they were like, and I go, "I'm 39," and they go, "I thought you were like 25 or 30," and I was like, "You know what? Yeah, you're right. I lied. I am 25." And they're like, "Well, no, you said no, 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 25."
Keep it at
Um,
that. Keep it at that.
yeah. So technically speaking, I am 25 going on 25.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think I'm taking that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
stick with it.
In my head, I'm still 16. So
Wow.
Hey,
If it works, it works.
get back
At
to your
the
home.
end, it's only numbers.
exactly. In my head, I'm still 16, unless I wake up in the morning that I'm 85. Don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, back problems and such.
Yep,
Yeah.
they seem to mess up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I ended up having lower back problems starting in fourth grade after we got in a car accident. I ended up getting knocked out. My seatbelt came partially off. We got hit that hard. So the back problems showed up later. But yeah, I got to practice being older with that stuff.
Yeah,
At an early age. They didn't see anything. They took x-rays and everything, but it's more of the muscle tension and such. So it sucks. But it is what it is. Doesn't stop me from running around and going to these places, doing the long travels. In fact, 5 hours for me, traveling 5 hours is a cakewalk for me. That's just like, 5, yeah, it's only 5 hours. and other people are going, only 5 hours. So I was like, oh, that's right. You don't travel like I do. Yeah, you don't go to these fucking places. We travel. We go out of state in all these places. We're traveling far to spend one night at a place and then drive all the way back. So that's easy. I mean, once it starts getting to the double digits, though, yeah, it's a little rough because I mean, I've come out to Indiana before. I think that's the furthest I've come out, and that's about without stops. It's about a 12-hour drive.
Right.
So and that was actually I think I think you guys are connected with him, Jeremy York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove out to do stuff with him.
Cool.
Yeah.
See, it's a small world.
Yeah. It's a really small world.
Mhm.
It is. But now you are mentioned it. You drive all over. Which wonderful locations did you visit?
So of course, my number one place that'll always be a number one for me is Wildwood Sanitarium. That's in my state, but it's 5 hours away. That's why I actually use the 5 hour thing, because I would drive back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I love that place. Home away from home. The owners are amazing. Wilson Castle in Vermont. That's one of my favorites. I don't understand it. Like, okay, New York is big. I get that. To get to Wilson Castle, it's about an hour and 45 minutes for me. That's in a separate state. That's in Vermont. I'm going from New York to Vermont, an hour and 45 minutes to get to Wilson Castle. Then I get to travel 5 hours in the same state to go to my favorite place in the same state. So figure that one out. So Wildwood Sanitarium, Wilson Castle, Hinsdale House, which is about 20-25 minutes away from Wildwood Sanitarium, another great place. I've been to Lizzie Borden's Bed and Breakfast.
Oh,
The Ohio State Reformatory. That was a dream location right there. And there was a jail. I forgot. It escapes me. Jeremy York and we did something at a one of his favorite. It was like a jail of some sort. I just don't remember. And we also did. My brother and we traveled for a residential case in Indiana, and that actually came from Paranormal Survivor from that one. So I've definitely had some opportunities to travel to some of these great places. I still have plenty that are still on the list, like Waverly Hills. I haven't been there yet. 23 years and I have not been there yet. What is wrong with me at this point?
yeah. You should check out Jeremy again. Maybe he's going back this year.
Man, yeah. I mean, it's
He
a
loves the
possibility.
location.
I have so many projects that I work on, that is just like it ends up getting in the way. It really does. But when I get the chance to go out there, it's like, I don't ignore people. It's like, I try to tell people I'm not ignoring anybody. There's a lot of work I'm doing. And it's not even just like after reviewing evidence or anything like that. I'm literally breaking it down, doing numbers, typing up reports. I'm doing all these things behind the scenes that people don't realize. So, it's like, I try to answer everybody back as much as I can. And because I do get a bunch of messages. I do get a bunch of comments, on some of the posts and such. And I have people that still want to do stuff with me. And of course, I'm always open to it. I really am. It's just it's getting that time to actually catch up and such. But people still shouldn't hesitate to reach out and ask to do stuff with me because I'm always open to it.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
it is. It is.
Well, I find that if we don't talk, if we don't learn from each other, and this is what people are going to find out, especially the book that I mentioned, the paranormal puzzle book that I'm doing, it really supports that the thought process of talking to people that have different backgrounds and different beliefs, and if it wasn't for my interactions with these people and observing, at least observing, not having to believe it, but observing and taking it in and learning rather than going, whatever. Um, it ended up, some of those things ended up coming back, and it became a huge part of the story. And it actually helped advance the research. And I'm sitting there going, wow, why did I not consider that? So the story ends up showing more a growth in character, because a younger version of me, I was as stubborn as can be. You know, I was you could not prove me wrong, even if you had evidence. And this was anything; it did not matter. You could ask my parents; they would tell you. Especially my mother would tell you that I was one of the worst children out there. I was always right, even if there was evidence in my face. I was right, and you know why I was right? Because I'm John Griffin. That's it. Um,
Wonderful.
the interesting the interesting thing was that started to change that, and I didn't really go too far, really much into this portion of it in the book. It was other things that led me, you know, that I opened up. But the main thing is that if I can't be wrong, well, what happens when I prove myself wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I can't be wrong, and now I have to go back. I've been teaching people certain things, and then I come across something, and it's like, John, something's wrong here. There was a big internal conflict that happened, and it was involving paranormal research, and I ended up fighting with myself, going, no, this can't be real. This can't be real. It was that whole denial and anger and like, no. And then there's a side of me, but John, I'm right. You were proven wrong. But how can I be wrong if I'm right?
Yeah.
So that became a huge internal struggle. And let me tell you something, that opened my eyes. And when I saw the light finally, I realized something. I wouldn't say, some people say that it's not wasted. For me, it felt wasted, because I thought to myself, how much further could I have been in the research that I was doing if I was willing to accept being wrong, even to the point that I fought myself.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it had to be myself to prove to myself that that you're not right, and the direction you're taking, you caused a delay for years in progression because you couldn't be wrong. And boy, was that a tough lesson.
It is.
But it was such a great lesson, and it's a lesson that I bring to people now. I try to let people know, especially if if I see that a person's acting similar to how I'm like, let me tell you something. I wish that I had older version of me talk to younger version of me, and be able to bestow this knowledge, because let me tell you something, you're gonna run into this X situation, and you're gonna be you are gonna feel so disappointed by the end in yourself, and I would like you to avoid that disappointment. But some people, like myself, we're hotheads, and we have to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
But I've had some people that have come back to me and go, John, you were right. Thank you for that. They didn't have to go through the full lesson, but they experienced part of it, and they saw that what I was saying, it resonated with them, because they were thinking about it, and what I was saying to them was matching up with what I said was going to happen was starting to happen, and they were able to stop themselves partway through and go, he was right. I am really following this path. And then I go, I'm glad you caught it. Now you have to recognize, you have to change. You have to look at yourself and in the mirror and become that change. And so yeah, and I know this was more of a, talking with each other, but that's really going to be, it's a pronounced theme in the book. And even in the book, even though I had that come into Jesus moment type thing, it it's still there was still so much stubbornness, and in the book you'll actually see that conflict. Not as strong as it was when I was younger, but the conflict is there, and there'll be somewhat of a punishment type thing that happens again, but this time I'm aware of it. And I don't go through the whole, oh, I'm angry or I'm going to ignore it. I actually shortened up the time period of getting through to the acceptance process.
Yeah, wise lesson.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it is.
What's the name of the book?
Paranormal Puzzle Path to Communication.
You can buy that on Amazon. Of
Uh,
course.
not so not right. It is going to be coming to Amazon. Um, but right now, I mean, I am still accepting pre-orders, but I'm just not. I'm not really advertising the pre-orders because the pre-orders I was putting a deadline of I think it was February 5th.
Yeah.
But I did get some pre-orders after that, and I accepted them. The book, I ended up getting a notification back from my publisher that said, we need to make some corrections, and it was design related, not story. It was design related, and um, so I'm just fixing that up, resubmitting it, and then getting it back out there. So it should be out about I would say probably beginning of mid March if all goes well and there's no other delays. But I will be putting out for the link, especially for Amazon when it releases. But I want to tell everybody if to make it easier and cheaper, because this book does have a lot of pictures in it, which is going to raise the price. Um, if people want to get it for a cheaper price, I would go directly through me. I could get it for the author price. I can be able to give a discount. Amazon, the book may be a decent amount by the time it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Usually is.
I did send Shane the link, which you did send me for the pre-order,
Oh yeah.
and how you can using Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and contacting you.
Yes. The so I'm taking it and those are for the author copies. So what I'm doing with that is once the book is fully published, they're sending me the copies of the book, and I'm doing signed copies, but I'm also putting what I'm calling messages of hope in each of the books for everybody that's purchasing them.
Yeah.
Just like an uplift us just a small uplifting message for people that that hopefully will help them. And I even had some people that purchased a book for their friends, um, partially to also get that message from a person that has struggled throughout life, and to give them a message of hope. So, and that's what I was kind of hoping for this book, because the subtitle, if you hear the subtitle, I mean, it is paranormal related because it has to do with my brother, hence, path to communication leading to the communication with my brother on the other side. But it has a second meaning to it, which is the path to communication of basically our path for us communicating with each other. That opening dialogue with people, and having these conversations that could ultimately help each other. So the book has the subtitle has kind of a multi meaning or a dual meaning to it. So I'm excited, and people will understand more once they see it, or once
Yeah.
they get their hands on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I will keep everyone updated if it is on Amazon, and I will share out the link for the Amazon copy. So no problem. Um, what I wanted to ask, you do a lot of research and experiments.
Mhm.
Um, what do you use for those who aren't that far in the paranormal? And yeah, what equipment don't you use?
So the one thing I've learned is to that I, is it's not necessarily what equipment you have; it's how you use it.
Yeah.
Um, I'm willing to test different types of equipment, but the big thing for me is um, I don't really utilize equipment that I cannot get a reading from. And what I mean by that is if I can't get numbers or something for that, if I don't know the internal workings to it, I won't get it. Um, so different devices that just like it all it's meant to do is pick up on an electromagnetic or static electricity interference. Like for instance, some of the I know there's like stuffed toy paranormal equipment and such where it just beeps and blinks and such, which that's great for TV. It's great for content, stuff like that. But if the one thing I would need to know is what's the measurement that causes that to go off? Um, is there any limitation to that measurement? If I can't get that information where I can put it into like I can create a measurement system for myself and identify different trends and such, then I don't want it. So basically, if I like the one of my favorite devices to do experiments was the tripwires, and the reason for that is and I'm not say like it's 100% accurate or anything of that sort, but the one thing that I was interested about and what made me purchase it is that each of the individual uh, sensors, if you want to call it that, on each on throughout the entire tripwire, each of the colors represents specific numbers of for the activation. So all I have to do is record the colors and where they were and such, and I could start documenting the specific numbers to go with that and put that into charts and all that. So something like that, that works for me. It doesn't have to have numbers on the device, but I should have some type of instructions as to what measurements it's taking.
Yeah.
Uh, but for some people, they don't have to. They don't have to start off with all that. You can start off with as something as simple as a digital audio recorder. I learned things from I did when before I did paranormal was out in the field. Out in the field, I went and I read people's stories online. I went and I watched videos and I took notes, and I identified trends just that way. Different people were saying similar things. Oh, there's similarities here, but I see some differences here. I want to look into these differences here. And why are all these similarities happening? And that was just from reading and watching videos. So I didn't even have to go out and do anything. So, and then on top of that, as it's shown in the book too, some people use their body as the equipment. Their body is essentially measuring different things. And I mean, just like how our body will say, hey, you're sick, something's wrong with you, you should get checked. It picks up on other elements of the environment as well. It was the same with like cats. One of the favorite things, because my brother was coming to a conclusion that he was focusing more on, I would say, more the blue spectrum, heading towards UV, for where spirits would more likely appear when they're doing when we're doing like different things with light experiments and such. And he, the interesting thing is that a lot of people report that cats see spirits, that cats are very sensitive to it. So one day I just thought about it and I went, what do cats see? What is their visible spectrum? And I looked it up, and they actually head towards the UV. And that's lining up with what my brother said, going, oh yeah, I'm focused on a blue spectrum. It looks like like blue heading into the UV. And then I go to the cat thing. I'm like, wait a minute. Whoa, maybe we're onto something here. There's a connection. So it's things like that. It's I know people get worried about, what equipment they have and such like that. Sometimes it's as simple as the information. The information could be your best tool. Um, and you could just have your basic stuff. Start off basic. Have a camcorder, if you have one, a digital audio recorder, um, a notebook. Get your baseline, and that's what I say when it comes. If you're going to do true scientific research, you have to start with a baseline.
Yep.
Uh, you can't just go in and do all this crazy advanced stuff. All this advanced stuff that I'm doing now started with a baseline. And even when I start a new project that's going to advance into something else, there's a baseline to that too. If you don't have a baseline, you can't develop your hypothesis.
No.
So, you know, I'll tell anybody, start with the baseline, start basic, and but also pay attention to what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. Fully agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very good information, especially for the newbies.
Yeah, finally.
It's about time. No, the newbies used to scare me,
Yeah,
especially when you see them doing things on, well, now TikToks nowadays.
Mhm.
I'm looking at them like, oh my god, there we go again. What in the world are you doing?
yeah.
And then I actually want to type under it, what are you doing? And I'm like, nope, delete. I'm not even gonna bother.
No.
I'm
writing
gonna
that,
get blocked anyway, so nope, we ain't doing this.
writing that, yeah, writing that mess, almost writing that angry message. It starts off, what the
Yeah,
bleep 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 are you doing? No, 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 no. What are you bleep doing? No, just keep. And it gets nicer until the point that you just don't do it.
Nope.
I don't react. I really. One time they almost got me,
Mhm.
and there was a video posted, and I mentioned it a few times, and there was a small story behind it. They had the camera rolling, and no one was in the room, and all those spirits were running through the room.
Mhm.
So I told them, I don't want to bully you or whatever, but it's moist and dust and insects. And he replied, yes, it are the spirits of the bugs. And I put my laptop out. I couldn't. My brain was boiling. Like, oh my God.
See, I don't typically. So I don't typically get involved. I'm more. I observe. Um,
Yeah.
and if something bothers me that somebody's doing, I mean, unless it personally impacts me, I just move along and just go. I mean, well, eventually you may learn, but uh, to me, it's just not even to me it's not even worth it. I used to argue and such. The only time um I may debate here and there. If people are speaking like directly with me, but there are points where if I see somebody's very closed minded, I just it's no longer you're not responding, or you're not listening to learn. You're listening to respond. And if I
Mhm.
see that you're listening just to respond, then I just stop, because at that point it's not. Some people may think, oh, I won the argument there. No, you didn't. I looked at you, I read you, and I'm like, you're not worth it, because you're not listening, and you're not listening to learn. You're All you want to do is just battle this out.
Yeah.
And if that's all if you're not, the wisest people don't they don't continuously like talk. They
Yeah.
don't try to outdo everybody. They're usually quiet. Um, and it's funny because it happens. To me, I didn't realize I was doing that. I mean, I mean, when I'm on podcasts or something like that, yeah, I yap and yap and yap and yap and don't shut up. Um, but a lot of times when people are talking, or I'm in meetings or anything like that, I'm one of the quietest people. I'm listening to everybody. I'm letting it register. Um, And when it comes down to like debates or anything like that, I mean, God forbid if I had to do a political debate or something like that, um, you know, in the moment, it's like I'm listening. I have that attitude of listen to learn, and then when I've done debates back in school and such like that, I would leave and I would go sit there and I would think about everything that was said, and I go, oh, but this, oh, I should have said that, and it's like all my good arguments come out after that because now I've had time to sit there, register, think about it. I learned some things, and now I come back. Um, but yeah, if people really want to get into like the paranormal work, any work in general, sit back and listen.
Yeah.
Sit back and listen. And yes, there's going to be things that are going to agitate you. It's going to happen because, especially in the paranormal community, we're dealing with a multitude of beliefs. A multitude, and the beliefs continue to expand, and that goes with when the religious aspect comes in. There's beliefs, multiple beliefs there, and if we're not willing to sit back and listen to any of this, we're not going to progress. All we're going to do is continue to create new beliefs and new beliefs, and that's what's happening. If in the paranormal field, it's we're not finding facts, we're creating beliefs. Creating beliefs is going to create divide. So this is why it's imperative that we focus on focusing on actually getting to the truth rather than just saying we're going for the truth. Saying and doing are two different things. But this is just one of those things, and that's why like when we named came up with the name You and I Research, it's right in the name. You and I research together. And we've worked with people that do almost polar opposite of what we do. And, we try to understand, okay, well, why did they do it this way? And so rather than going, well, that's wrong and stuff like that, it was, what's your background to this? Okay, so you had some hauntings. What type of hauntings did you have? What type of activity did you have? When you did this type of research, what was the result? Like, what made you investigate this way? And I start following back. It's like, and I guess that's my criminal justice side coming out because I was a security lieutenant for what was called the Training and Intelligence Division. I have all this different training for investigations. And one of the things that we do is you have to go backwards when you're investigating. When you arrive on a crime scene, the crime has happened, unless it's in progress. But not that I went to a homicide or anything like that, but let's say homicide. They go to a homicide, the crime has happened. They're seeing the aftermath of it. They have to figure out what happened here. So they're going backwards. They're going back in time. So that's how I approach some of these things is, if I see it, like investigators doing some things and I'm like, why are they doing this? At that moment, I've seen a result of something. So now I want to take that backwards in time and go, okay, how did we get to this moment? You do things this way. What made you do it this way? And so that's how I'll go back. So, and it'll end up getting to the point of like what their first paranormal experiences were and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, it gets complex from there. I could go on and on and on and keep you on for 5 hours going over all that stuff.
Well, you can, but you have to come back for that.
Yeah, I'll set my alarm clock for 8 a.m. like I did.
It's way too early. Don't do that.
I've never been a morning person, but you know what? I was just like, you know what? For some reason, it registered. I thought I thought your show was at 3 p.m. for your time, and so I'm like, okay, that's a 6-hour difference. And I was like, okay, so yeah, I'll be up at 9 a.m. I'm glad I asked. I was just like, I got to make sure. And then I found out it was 3 p.m. my time. I'm like, oh, but hey, if I didn't hear back, I had my alarm clock ready for 8. I was ready to jump up and do it anyway. So
Well, that is very kind of you.
Yeah, but we don't ask our guests. Most of the time, I do the schedules and I will do the count and give the time difference, and we do it in an acceptable time.
I appreciate it. When you told me 3 p.m., I appreciated that, and I was just like, I looked over at my bed, and I was like, okay, I do have some extra time.
Thank God.
Yeah. Oh, I had to laugh so hard.
But that's funny things,
Yeah,
especially
it
when we
is.
mess. But that's something with the time difference from the Netherlands to America. You have so many time differences there. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we have one, and it's all the same. Summer and winter.
Oh, yeah. No, my grandmother, because I'm in New York, so Eastern time, and my grandmother, she moved out to California, so she's on the western side. She's got 3 hour difference. She
Yeah.
continuously forgets that, so she'll call me at 7 p.m. her time. It's 10 p.m. my time, and she always thinks I'm going to bed or something like that. And I might be starting to get ready for bed, and I'll let her know that, oh yeah, I'm starting to get ready for bed. Oh, that's right. It's 10 p.m. your time. It's like, you know what? These is these phone calls are a blessing. My grandmother's around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll treasure those moments. And then of course we got Hawaii, my favorite place to vacation at. Very expensive, so I rarely get to go. But when I do get to go, it's amazing. I think that's one. I think that's a 4 hour time difference for us.
Oh,
Yeah. No, you're definitely right. You travel all over the United States, and yeah, you have to change your body clock. You don't even have to
yeah.
leave the country to change your body clock.
Yeah, you get a jet lag without flying overseas.
Yeah, I flew overseas before. I've gone to the well, I was in Japan for a short time, not really visiting. It was more, getting ready to go to the next flight, but I got to see a bit of it. And then I went to the Philippines. That's a 12-hour difference. So I mean, yeah, that was going to and coming back. Oh man, yeah, it took some time to adjust.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I would have had the same.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
I
It'd be a
would be a
2 day sleep.
zombie.
I haven't been to the Netherlands or Australia or those places yet. I mean, you know what? Australia, they have big things there,
Hmm.
like huge and like murder monsters. That
Yeah.
Well,
kind of
you have, in America, you have the same.
No,
not
not as big as Australia.
no no Australia is that's a different beast. Like I've seen the stuff they have there. The closest thing we may have to that is Florida.
Yeah,
They have tarantulas and crocodiles and alligators.
yeah.
But Australia, people are boxing kangaroos. Uh,
Yes,
like,
seen it.
like, and all their I forgot what it's called, but they had these giant spiders. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the same for you guys, but at least here in the U.S., pretty much all paranormal investigators, we love ghosts, but we hate spiders.
Hmm.
Um,
I hate spiders.
oh,
I
perfect. Then
turn
it's
into
the
Kung Fu Panda.
tradition continues in the other countries. Then
Yeah,
perfect.
Yep.
Kung Fu Panda over here. I will be out of the building in 2 seconds.
Oh yeah. I know some people. I don't like bats either, but I mean I know some paranormal people that love them. There was one from Wildwood. She loves. Oh yeah, we got enough. You should see it. There is some good footage of me. There was one point where a bat flew just past here, and I literally dove to the floor. It's like,
Oh my
and,
God.
and my team member Katie, she goes, she goes, "Oh, it's just a bat," and I go, "That makes it worse."
I love it when that happens.
Uh,
Oh my God.
Oh, bats are cool.
Oh, everyone would kick me out because I couldn't stop laughing.
well, I my first time actually fully interacting with a bat was Wilson Castle. Um, and I was warned that we went into the basement because we were doing our baseline readings. We were in the basement, and I was told that bats are definitely down there. So when I went down there, I was starting to head into one of the rooms, and sure enough, a bat flies across the room, and you see me literally like, whoop, just like, and they go, they go, what's wrong? I go, you hear me go, bat. And my brother made a sarcastic remark. He was like, I was saw there was a bat that flew by him. I think my brother was like, he goes, well, yeah, that's what bats do. And I go, yeah, but I was told by our friend Mike that they like to dive bomb us here because apparently that's what happened to them. They didn't do that to us. Um, and I've never had that happen. I've had bats come close to my head,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think after I've had bats come close and then they're flying all above me, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna want to crawl out of here right now. Um, I don't know. I don't know which I would rather deal with, bats or well, I know what your answer is about you would say bats over spiders.
Yeah, for
Huh.
sure. Yeah, I would take my hair in a bun because of the bats. You don't want them to get tangled in it.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but bats over spiders. Yeah, even snakes over spiders. Not the venomous, but
Oh, don't say that to my friend Katie. Like my that is that now she hates snakes big time. And
yeah,
she's one of the toughest people ever. When we were at the Ohio State Reformatory, she literally when we were at the Ohio State Reformatory, we basically there was a shadow figure, and the shadow figure it was in I forgot what part of it was. I think it was solitary. And she sees this shadow figure all the way down the hall. It's pitch black.
yeah,
There's no power in this place. So when it's dark, when it goes dark, it's pitch black except for your flashlights. All of a sudden, she says she sees a shadow figure. I turn and I look, and she is running
oh,
down the dark hallway towards it. And that's when I really saw her character. I was like, oh, okay, she is she's fearless. Wow. And but then she told me, oh yeah, like, and when it came down to bats, it was like, oh, it's just a bat, stuff like that. But meanwhile, snakes,
yeah.
there's the line right there. So the Conjuring House, which I went to, she didn't get a chance to go to. The Conjuring House, they're known for having snakes. So you find snake skins in the basement.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And she saw some pictures of that, and she was just like, nope.
Ain't going there. Bye.
She wanted to. It's just she doesn't like it snakes. It doesn't. It could be a small garden snake. She does not like them. Now I've never seen her react to a snake yet. I've never seen a snake come out for her. I just know that she absolutely despises them. So
Okay.
it might be her. Maybe her despising snakes is like me despising spiders. I think
Probably.
it's at that level because she will hightail it out if there's a snake.
Yeah.
She's already warned me, so she's not going to chase it down like that shadow figure that it's down the hole. So
I hope you have your camera ready.
well,
make
you know
it-
what? If she has cameras at her house, so I hope one day. I hope one day she'll share a video of her reaction with snakes.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it'll be just to me, and then I accidentally leak it out to Facebook. Just don't kill me. Don't kill me.
If that
hope
happens, she would probably kill you.
Huh? I'm going to go into witness protection program. I'm getting.
You have the contacts.
Oh my god, that'll be worse.
Hilarious.
All right, I want to thank you, John, for coming on our show because we are at the end of the show already. We hope to see you back again, of course, because we
Yeah.
had a very very cool conversation,
Yeah.
and I think more to talk about.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you for having me, and look forward to appearing again if you'll have me.
Oh yeah, definitely. We had a blast.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you everybody in chat who watched and interacted with us. By the way, you have an invitation to go to Tokyo. Irene is from Tokyo, Japan.
Oh, see, yeah, and you know what? And like I said, I've been to Japan twice already. I just haven't had a chance to actually go outside of the airport. I do. It is one of my places. I do admire the Japanese culture.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's definitely really cool out there. Plus, Nintendo's out there, and Shigeru Miyamoto. And I would really like to meet, the creator of Mario. That'd be cool.
that would be very cool. Yeah. Man, now I want to go to Japan. Not for the ghosts though. I have heard stories about Japan and their ghosts. I don't like them.
They have some of the most interesting like legends and hauntings
Oh, yeah.
that I've seen, and it's just yeah, I'm sure Irene. Yeah, and I'm familiar with Irene. I'm sure Irene's got like probably some amazing stories from over there.
She does. Yeah. By the way, she has to come back on the show as well. We weren't done
Yeah.
talking about those ghosts.
Absolutely.
All right. I am going to finish the show. Like I said, thank you all for interacting. Thank you all for coming and looking at our show again. John, we hope to see you soon again. If you want to stay backstage, we can talk a little further. But for the live, we are going to quit now. As always, we will end with our music. So I will click everybody in the back and hit the music again. So everybody, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Stack, fake the unseen crowd. Fingers tapping on the veil too loud. Voices from the cracks in the floor. Shadows bending where light won't go. Chasing truth in a haunted show. Are they real or something more? Psychic dreams or skeptics grin. Ghosts of questions circling within. Answers vanish before they land. Investigators with their tools in hand, talking to the dark like it understands. Spirits rising from the sand.